Hello, Cosmic Seekers. It is Ethan here, and I've been wanting to do this VR for so long. This is a video response to Molly Herspeak, and it is to her rocking your grimoire. Well, I am a very visual artist, as you guys know if you guys seen my art videos. Hopefully you guys have. And actually I have some of my old grimoires here with me to share with you guys. First I'm going to show you the ones I'm going to be sharing, and then we'll get into some. And also I written down the questions for the YT Pagan Challenge 2017, the first 4 questions. I thought that would be very interesting to answer while I do this magical video for you guys. So here we go, shall we? And also in the link below I'll add some inspiration Book of Shadows / grimoire videos, because I think there's a lot of good people that you can pull from inspiration. So I have this one, which took me about 2 years to complete, and it's just a sketchbook that I got at Walmart. Same with this one. This is the Spiral sketchbook from Walmart. That is a continuation of this one right here. Let's see. Then this was one of my first grimoires, and it's a sketchbook I got at a Hobby Lobby that I used, and it's kind of a little ripply rip, but it's a very beautiful journal. And then this little pretty bold and loveliness is one of my first grimoires that I ever written, or one of my first Book of Shadows before I even knew what Book of Shadows was. So I'm going to go through this book first. But first, I will answer the first question. Show and tell your grimoires notebooks. What type of book do you prefer? So, before I had grimoires, I used regular journals such as this to write down anything that I learned, from spell work to inspiration that I can just randomly pull from. So let's see if I can show you some of my first few pages. So, like this right here is basically something I wrote when I was just randomly writing, and it would just be collage photos such as this. And this is just a friend of mine that I really enjoyed how she looked, so I kind of made a love spell around that. Let's see. Now, this book wasn't really spaced out into sections. It was just me recording things that really worked out for me. It was kind of inspired by the Secret Circle Book of Shadows and the Blake and the Armstrongs and the Bendis Book of Shadows, and just different books that I've seen, like this one. Let's see, there was an image in here that, and I would also add some dry plants, like this is a dry mint leaf I stuck in here. I would also do splatter oracle, what Molly called it, which I really enjoyed before I knew it was an actual thing. Let's see. And I would actually add different inspirations to this book, just to give it a unique style. Here's some more pressed flowers that I added inside. I would also mess around with some chalkboard paint, if you will. That was pretty fun. Let's see. Here's some more of those kind of pages. As you tell, I kind of messed around here and there. A little everything. Let's see. But basically, I finished this journal from page to page. It was one of my first grimoires that I ever finished in my life, so I was very happy with that. Then I got into sketchbooks. So sketchbooks are a very magical way of documenting art, because the pages are totally blank, so you can basically do anything from chiseling, from collage work, from pasting temporary tattoos into your book, adding colorful stickers, adding stamps to your book. So you can tell really spread out and explored this book in very detail because I'm a very visual learner. So learning how things were is just tip of the iceberg of how I made this book work for me. Another question was, how do you protect and consecrate your book? So I don't usually consecrate my book. Usually I don't consecrate any of my tools really, because it's just not how I do things. But usually I'll wait to protect my book until the book is finished. I know that a lot of people like to do protection secret spells, but what is so secret that you had to hide your book? Why not keep it on the bookshelf where it looks like another book? Here's some imagery. Because your book is not supposed to be hidden, it's not supposed to be burnt away. It's just basically supposed to record your findings, your visuals, your spell work, anything that you might find interested in. Because you too, I am very open to sharing my book, because if you follow me on my other channel, where I kind of do journal flip throughs, you know that I do a lot of visual learning over there. Let's see. So I would sometimes write my sheet on a different sheet of paper just to give my book that practical magic kind of look, which I really enjoy. I kind of used this book as a little key guide when I was working through my first year of Instagram. Let's see. Here's a page of one of the Sabbaths I was working on. And sadly, Scotch stain made the pen that I was using bleed, which that would happen. It really would happen. And then I would create pages like this. I would create, kind of tape it on one side so that I can kind of create these layout pages, so that way it's kind of three-dimensional kind of book, which is really interesting how it came out. Let's see. And then sometimes I would add photographs to document my book as well, because that's something I really like to do, is add pictures into my grimoires. Here's one of the last collages I made in this book. And then let's go into new ones, shall we? Okay, question 3 was, how do you organize your book? Table content, bookmarks? Sometimes, yes, I'll use bookmarks, but not all the time I would use bookmarks. I would mostly add feathers or use tiny little tarot cards that I find that I have. And then, let's see, most of my book in this one was on writing, because I was really into the handwritten kind of aesthetic, because I really do enjoy writing in this book. Sometimes I would print out imagery or info that I don't want to write out and just add it to this book, because it just made the book more interesting that way. Let's see. I would add a lot of my animal and insect symbolism, because I believe that symbolism is really, really powerful. But yes, I was inspired by a lot of things. I even would ask my mother to help me write some of the spell work in my books, because it was just something really powerful to me. How do I start my book? I don't usually do anything special. I just write usually, or I'll just take something in and just add a continuation of where I left off, or just add more info, because I feel like your grimoire is just what you want to put into it. See, like this, there's a whole bunch of sigil work. And so, yeah, your book is just filled with your info and what you collected and what you know your knowledge has, because it's important to record how things work for you, because it's your individual path and it's your instinctualness of the magic that you place within it. So it's very magical. Like here, this is when I got inspired by Molly. And this was actually a picture that she actually shared on Instagram. not Instagram, on her Facebook page, which I was very intrigued that she actually shared it. So that was a very inspiring page that kind of got me out there in the open world. Then sometimes I would add more imagery, such as this, because I like to go through Pinterest and just find pictures that I really relate to, and then review my info in that way. But sadly, this book didn't really hold up the way I'd like, because if you look carefully at the spine right here kind of start breaking, so I kind of keep it on my bookshelf just as a reference book, because that's how my own books are. They're just reference guides, my different info. And same with this one that I am almost journaling about, because it's basically where I kind of experience my relationship with my deities. Let's see. It's also where I learned to write in different directions of different pages. But yeah, your grimoire doesn't have to be this fancy, overlaid, old-fashioned aesthetic, if you will. It can be anything that you respond to, because there's just so much you can do in your books, and it can just really inspire you. And hopefully this video responses kind of gives you an inspiration on how I do my book, but also encourages you that you can create your book in any way that you want, because each person is able to do their own work. There's no reason why you can't do that. But hopefully you enjoy this video, guys, because I'm just happy to share this video for you guys, because I'm very intrigued to see other videos of you guys sharing your grimoires. But if you do a video response to Molly, or have done one, I really would like to watch it. Just comment down below, and I would love to watch it and see what your guys put into yours. Alright guys, I'll see you in my next video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you later. Alright, bye lovelies.